September 1st, 1920, amidst the dust of the fallen Ottoman Empire, a new map was drawn. French General Henri Jourot stood on the steps of the Résidence des Pins and declared the birth of Grand Liban, Greater Lebanon. But Jourot wasn't just drawing lines on a map, he was fusing history with geography. He invoked three powerful myths to anchor this new state: the deep connection to the Mediterranean Sea, the legendary seafaring legacy of ancient Phoenicia, and a historical alliance with France dating back to the Crusades. Greater Lebanon was born, a Western oriented vision crafted by local elites designed to be a Christian sanctuary in the East. To understand the soul of this new Lebanon, you have to understand one man, Charles Oram. Born in 1894, Oram was a product of the Jesuit education at St. Joseph University. It was here that his secular, Francophile, and non Arab identity was forged. But before he was a philosopher of the state, he was a titan of industry. Oram was an exclusive Ford dealer for the entire region. By 1923, an incredible 45% of all cars in Lebanon and Syria were Fords imported by Oram. He was a man who understood the mechanics of progress. Then, at the height of his success, he did the unthinkable. He liquidated his empire. Oram traded the boardroom for the writer's desk, dedicating his life to a single mission: tightening the bond between Lebanon and France through the power of the word. In 1934, Charles Oram published his magnum opus, La Montagne Inspirée. It wasn't just poetry, it was a romantic manifesto for the Lebanese spirit. Through three poetic cycles, enthusiasm, agony, and memory, Oram canonized a new national history. He looked past the Arab world to find the true ancestor, the ancient Phoenicians. He anchored this identity in a sacred geography. First, the Adisha Valley, symbolizing the ubiquitous Christian presence and the unbreakable strength of the Maronite people. Then, the Ibrahim River. To Orm, this was a river of Adonis, a flowing connection to the sensual, pagan, and ancient Phoenician soul. And finally, Baalbek, the city of the sun. Orm saw these stones not just as ruins, but as monuments to the Lebanese fertility and a timeless link to the ancient cult of the sun. In the book Charles Oram, an intellectual biography written by Frank Salemi in 2015, it is mentioned that for Oram and the young Phoenician circle, Lebanon was never just a province of the East. It was a Mediterranean entity, a living spirit of trade, openness, and peace. As Pan-Arabism surged across the region, Oram used the Phoenician past as an intellectual shield. He didn't want Lebanon swallowed by a larger ocean. He anchored it to 6,000-year-old roots. Oram didn't just write this identity, he exported it. In 1939, he designed the Lebanon Pavilion in New York, presenting a modern, civilized, and Phoenician Lebanon to the Western world. Also, in the book, The Lebanese Phoenician Nationalist Movement by Basilios Bawardi, written in 2016, it is mentioned that this was a linguistic struggle too. The movement sought to distance Lebanon from Standard Arabic, pushing to recognize Lebanese as a language in its own right, a final step to de-Arabizing the culture. Symbols like the cedars and the galley became weapons of nationalism. Writers like Oram and Said Aql used them to build a national soul, creating a collective memory of inventors and sailors. Though often tied to Maronite identity, Oram's vision was surprisingly secular. He intended Phoenicianism to be a sovereign, inclusive identity that both Muslim and Christians could embrace, defined by history, not just religion. To build a nation, you need more than just a map, you need a house. If Michel Chiha built the legal foundations of Lebanon, Charles Oram decorated its ruins with poetry. Chiha was the pragmatist, the architect of the 1926 Constitution and the Merchant Republic. While he gave Lebanon its economic reasons to exist, Oram provided the emotional justification. Lebanon is a sacred refuge and a bridge between East and West. But here lies the great contradiction of Oram's nationalism. He wrote entirely in French. To Oram, the ancient Phoenician tongue was dead on the lips, but alive in the landscape. French was his tool for modern culture. They sparked a firestorm. Arab nationalists like Amin al-Rihani bitingly criticized Oram, arguing that true Lebanese identity couldn't be expressed in the language of an occupier while ignoring Arabic. Then came the radical Said Aql, younger and more militant. Aql took Oram's Lebanese genius to the extreme. He didn't just want French or Arabic. He wanted to create a unique Lebanese language, written in a modified Latin alphabet. Three men, one trinity. They shared a mystical obsession with the Phoenician past, but differed widely on the tools needed to build the future. Politically, Charles Odom's radical Phoenician vision hit a wall in 1943. To achieve independence, the National Pact defined Lebanon as a country with an Arab face. But while he lost the political battle, Odom won the cultural war. His imagery survived in the golden age of the 50s and the 60s, turning the Baalbek festival into a global stage for a unique Lebanese spirit. We see it today in the halls of the National Museum and the careful reconstruction of our ancient ruins. Odom's vision gave Lebanon a pedigree that transcended the immediate politics of the day. Modern Lebanon is culturally and linguistically Arab, but Odom's La Montagne Inspirée and his Phoenician mythos remain a powerful permanent part of our national narrative, a dream of a nation anchored in the sea and the stars.